Aloha, ahi ahi, taho, Lāna'i. Thank you folks for spending your Wednesday evening with us. My name is Rick Wilson, and I am proud to be your mayor. I'm here with some of our team. We're going to explain a little bit about our own department, and also open it up for either testimony, which you can submit in writing, and we'll take it home with us to Maui and give it to those respective departments. Or of course, you can come up and you can give your testimony. So the Office of Mayor has several divisions. In my department is the Office of Economic Development. Many of you may know Lāna'i, she's the director. I also have an Office of Innovation Services. I have the Chief of Staff and his executive, some executive assistants that work under him. The Office of Budget, which tonight is represented by Leslie Milner. Leslie came over with us today. They have a staff of 5 in their division, and Leslie's here. This is being live streamed for those folks that are not able to be here in person. It is not interactive, but of course they can observe what's happening. And I also have the communications division in the Office of the Mayor. So what I'll do is I'll hand it over to my right, and these gentlemen can explain their departments before we open up.
Hello everybody, my name is Shane Nagawa. I'm the Director of Environmental Management. I'm good to see a lot of familiar faces. So under our department, we have wastewater. We also have solid waste, which is the landfill and refuse. And we have our ENS division. They handle a lot of environmental grants, recycling grants, and I'll be here to answer any questions you guys may have, or if you guys just want to start up and see me.
My name is Pat McCall. I'm the Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, and we can have our Lāna'i District Supervisor here, Manila Sanchez. I'm sure all of you know her. I actually have my pad here because here on Lāna'i we have enough going on in parks that we actually have something to talk about. I didn't have to have this in Upcountry Maui the other night, but our department on Lāna'i has kind of a relatively large footprint, and we currently have 3 large projects. As you know, we're currently building the Lāna'i Youth Center. On paper, we are about 35% through that project. I believe that is included with all the grubbing work and et cetera that's done overall. That project is overseen by the Bowers and Kubota and has a tentative completion date of next summer. Okay, so that's where we're there. The skate park that will be built right next to it is in the permit and design phase. The posted bid is going to close on the 16th of November, and then we'll finalize the permits and get the shovels in the ground and start working on that project. The 5th Street courts there are going to be resurfaced. We're going to be doing some upgrading the lights, replacing some of the fencing as well. That is in the design and permit phase. We're going to be looking for fiscal year 25 funds and to finalize that project. We expect to post the bid in 24. Best case scenario, shovels will hit the ground late 24. Changing and resurfacing all of those courts, etc. So quite the active project base here on Lāna'i. If you have any questions, again, as Shane said, we'll be here after to discuss that and listen to any of your current wants and
Lāna'i Highways Division. Our main goal is to make our roads safe. We get all our roads in the city, and then one highway. I think we only a district that has a highway that we have to take care of, which is a very good highway, but it's getting better. We do only like road patching. We don't do any really paving, that's out of our scope. We do the shoulders, and then, take complaints. So you guys get complaints, call me. Don't be mad with me now, just call me, and we'll take care of the problem. Okay?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Massey from the Police Department. I'm, of course, for the public comments or questions or anything, just let us know. We do have the health fair and the Love Your Pet Day again, so thank you, Mary Lou, for coming out and for Lāna'i for the support for all of our. Very much for allowing us to be there.
Yep, thank you. So again, we're gonna open up the testimony in a bit. Just to give you an idea of what's happening, many of you know, of course, all of you know about what's happened to us online. You know, I'm sure many of you are impacted by that some way, family or friends. So what happened is, we submitted our budget, July 1st, our budget took effect on August 10th or 11th. I contacted the different departments and asked them to cut their budgets by 5%. And so each of them had to sharpen their pencils, look through their departments, and see where they could find a 5% reduction, because we recognized that we were going to be short revenue because of what happened to us. So I just wanted to commend all the different departments for having to make that sacrifice. Of course, that's what many families have to do as well. When their situations change, they have to address that, and that was the attempt at that. We did not cut social services. Anybody who was already receiving a grant from the county did not have their grants cut. Most of that came from either vacant positions or CIP projects. And our intention for this next budget cycle, which is what we're on now, okay? So this is the second of 8 budget hearings that we're going to hold throughout the county. We're on our country Maui on Monday. We will be in Kahului and Wailuku tomorrow night. And of course, we have Molokai, Hana, Lahaina, Paia as well. So other sites we're going to be visiting, doing the exact same thing, getting input from the community, tell us what your wants, desires, and comments are, and we take that back to the various departments, put that in the mix as we submit the budget. Our intention, my instructions to our departments for this upcoming budget cycle is to keep a flat budget. So not cut any more, not cut another 5%, but to stay where they're at. That's just to give you the broad overview of where we're at. So, turn over to Leslie. We may have a couple of other departments join us as we go through the evening, and I thought we were starting at 5 instead of 4:30. So, all right.
With sincere humility that I come before you today, please let me express my pride in your home, and I appreciate all the effort and the rest of the company. Without sounding insensitive, requests for Lāna'i's budget regarding 1. Please fund extending the infrastructure to 5th Street. 2. Fund county liaisons to visit Lāna'i monthly, in particular the housing and OED liaisons. I'm truly grateful for July's Polomua Kako meetings. Sharing my concerns with you, Mayor, and your staff, especially Pono Asano, made me feel that after 30 years, the county is listening and trying to address our housing. I was very happy to hear about your intent to extend infrastructure. In your March State of the County address, you mentioned that we can help to strengthen and stabilize families by addressing our housing crisis. I agree with your statement about ensuring that children have options to remain where they grew up, contributing just as their parents and grandparents have. I'm hoping that we can continue to meet with liaisons from the county to move forward in creating a community.
Oh, thank you very much.
The next testifier is Roger Alkinsel.
Just wanted to echo what Diane said. Thank you for your efforts on Lāna'i for that it's unprecedented. And I know it's, that we have, that was 3 years ago, still in the process. If you put money for the Fifth Street Fund. Once again, thank you for all your efforts. And
Our next testifier is David Embry.
Hello, everybody. You guys. I have three main topics. My first topic would be housing. Housing is a very, very important issue right now for us. My second topic is ag. Without the housing, we can't get workers to come here. They can't afford to stay here and can't afford the rents. House the other day in 2 days sold for $880,000 like that. I pay cash for it, no problem. We're beating ourselves up over here. For the ag side, I meet with all the farmers, our regular farmers. We're putting in a lot of product now. But what we see, our future, is added value. Don't get enough attention, added value. Added value is the key to succeed for us farmers. So, Lāna'i has helped us out a lot. Get to this one point where we're right there. You know, the one more dot. We need the one more dot. Help is needed for the farmers. So we do the processing. And my third topic would be for the park and recreation, our farmers market. Our farmers market, terrible farmers market we have here. The once a month kind of thing doesn't work. And there's a lot of people that want to put product in and they can't pay the $50, $150, $200. You know, it grows, you know, to get in that. You know, we need, and we have proposed by the fire station, the park, in the beginning, you know, before the other mayor, and we had it right there, but it all faded away. I don't know what happened to it. And that would be a key representative for people here. It's not only for farmers, you know, it's for the knickknack people and people to survive over here. Get that going again. Like it used to be. We really help out. Hey guys.
Hello, and before we get to our next testifier, we did just want to say we do know a lot of activities going on Lāna'i tonight, so we really appreciate there's stuff going on over at the youth center and the softball league is playing tonight, so we really appreciate you taking your time to come and give your. Our next testifier is Winnie Vasquez.
Oi, hey, Mai, come inside. I'm going to talk to you, I did last week, about the roads. Please take care of the road, the county road. It's terrible. There are no lines in the middle of the road. The white line is black. Why is it black? It's supposed to be white. So people can see daytime and nighttime. And of course, there are a lot of potholes. I know I used to help my husband work on the state highway on the road. Do you both know what is Clearfield? Nobody knows what is clearasil? Clearasil. It is the one that you patch up the road, okay? The sealer. Because when the oil comes down, it wash out all the pohako. And there goes the money. Right? You go to fill it up, here comes the oil, gone. And goes again. That's why we have problem with cars. The cars, in case it breaks down, tires will be broken. The wheel alignment is the worst one. And over here, nobody puts wheel alignment. The thing is that please take care of the road. It's damaged. I'm telling you, where is the budget coming from? Actual reparation, mayor, all your no, it's our taxpayers' money. We pay tax to do the road. But if you don't know how to do it, call me. I'll show you how to do it. Okay? Mahalo, I gotta go work now. Ahoy ho, malang. Take care. Bye.
Next testifier is Larry Louise Kakian.
Hi. I've been a resident of Lāna'i for about almost 33 years. Going back with Diane and everything, I was lucky enough 30 years ago to get one of the last county projects in Oakville was, we hope to see that we could continue that for our kids. Well, my 28-year-old, so he'd be able to have his own house. I have a testifying from one of our residents who couldn't make it today. I'd like to read that, if that's okay. I'm reading this on behalf of Cody Patterson. Obviously this is not me, I'm not 27, but I'm a 27-year-old and have been a carpenter with the Lāna'i builders for 5 years. I was born on Maui and raised on Lāna'i with my parents since I was 1. I would have loved to attend this meeting, however, I'm in self-isolation as I tested positive for COVID. I thank you for the opportunity to be heard and for the patience to listen, contemplate the problems apparent in our community. Growing up, I have envisioned a future for myself on this island. I thought I would be able to start a career and be able to have my own slice of paradise we call Lāna'i. I wanted to own a home here, start a family, and let my kids enjoy the serene oasis that is our island. However, in adulthood, it has become apparent that these aspirations have become far-fetched. There are very few houses to buy on this island, and the ones that are for sale are ridiculous. While I understand this is not a problem you can fix with current homeowners, there is something you need to do to alleviate the dread that is set to adults my age. There is a housing crisis on our island. We have multiple generations of families living in the same house. These houses have not been able to be renovated since they were originally occupied. There are nowhere to house these families while work is being done, even temporarily. As a carpenter, I see the importance of my work. I see houses that I build for Palama become occupied, and that feeling alone brings me immense pride to be a part of something much larger than I, with products that continue to push the envelope and expand my craft. However, as a middle-class worker, cannot help but feel underappreciated. While these houses that I build become available for those ranked above me and my coworkers, we go home to our childhood homes, sleep in the same bed we slept in since we were 15, and must live a life we do not choose for ourselves. The land of opportunity, a pond hop away, escaping the cage of paradise seems increasingly enticing today. Without middle-class workers like me, there is no future for the island. There is no one to build houses, stock the shelves, serve the guests, that our two top 10 resorts attract. Of course, we could continue to bring in people from out of state to quell the hunger that is hospitality, but all that will achieve is dispensation of the culture that we have worked so hard to keep intact. We need affordable housing. We need to keep Lānaʻi's on Lāna'i. We need to preserve what we have worked for so hard to create. Lāna'i has begun developing 150 affordable housing development that exceeded our expectations for what affordable housing is. While their effort goes noticed, I do not think this solves the problem that young adults have with housing. Or for rent, never to own. What this might alleviate is Four Seasons housing, which currently requires a significant percentage of the hotel rooms to accommodate. But this does not bring hope to the future of this island and adults like me. We will be taking the reins of this island soon, and it will be hard to run the hotels and head Kulama departments with the thought of never owning anything or having anything to pass down to our children who leaves over our head. I have a 28-year-old. Hopefully he shows up soon. He doesn't get done work till 5 o'clock. I try his fellow workers that are working on housing to come over and, speak to you guys about this. So I agree with the housing part that we really need it. Also, I'd like to go with another thing on the budget is to continue to support youth sports on our island. It's good for the kids. We've got great programs going for all our kids, and help with travel and things like that would be great. That's pretty much it. Do you need this?
Yes.
I can get his address for you also. Oh, I got one more thing. Sorry. Since the project is now going to be delayed over at the 5th Street Courts for the repaving and everything like that, is it possible to get, I know it's going to happen sooner, but a lot of the rims and the backboards are all bust up. It's going to be 2 years away. I mean, the courts get used a lot. When we have very little bit of basketball courts or volleyball courts. We got so much youth activity going. We need for that equipment to get fixed. Possible, since it's pushing it back to that could happen. That would be awesome. Thank you.
Our next testifier is Negus Mayo.
Thank you for taking time out of your days to come listen to us. Thank you for all the work you've done supporting agriculture. So I come to you today representing myself and also farmers. But we appreciate all the support you've given towards the Department of Ag. And one of the things that has been priority, if I can, share with you, Mayor. So the Hawaii Farmers Union United Lāna'i chapter has been doing quite a bit with the support of Maui. Thanks to you, we've got a farmer apprentice program where we're graduating 5 new farmers every year to increase our workforce capacity, to diversify our economy, agriculture. We've also received a grant this year for $35,000, which is going towards creating a school library for those farmers so that we can get them into production faster. The last thing that we're asking for, is which I shared with you, is to develop a framework for us to have a farmers market on county property. We chose a location next to the fire department off of Fraser Avenue, Malta Highway, which we think would be the ideal location. Last month, well actually in August 7th, I had the pleasure of joining the luncheon. We were celebrating entrepreneurship at the local farmers markets. And I mentioned at that time that in Maui County, all of our farmers markets are on private land. And thanks to Guam, we've now reestablished our farmers market. Unfortunately, the party that's managing that is only doing it once a month. Farmers would like to see it maybe twice a week, possible at least minimum once a week. When I spoke on August 7th, we still didn't have a framework from the Department of Parks and Rec outline how we could have farmers market. And so couldn't use a special use permit or something like that. So I did continue to do some research, and I found here in the 1970s, Department of Parks and Rec in Honolulu created the People's Open Market, and they allowed farmers market on all those different locations on that handout I gave you for the community to have farmers market. So I figured that is something you guys could review. I did include the rules and regulations printed out there so you can copy. Oh, fantastic. I'm glad it got to your desk. But yeah, I'd really like you guys that we've been advocating for this for the last 2 years. Fortunately, that ball got dropped, so we'd like to continue. Getting grants for the infrastructure and the equipment we need to develop the value-added products, like I mentioned to you. We'd also like you to prioritize resources for ag education. Would it either by continue to support the FAM programs through HFUU or by introducing occupational trade programs back into our school for our high school students, so that they can have jobs to develop the housing that we need, to fix the machinery and equipment that we need. Great to tie that into the school. We only have 30-something graduates graduating every year. We continue to suffer from the brain drain, them leaving to go to college to get a degree that might not have a return on investment. So we'd like to give them the tools and the resources they can use to help our community now. And one of the last things I would like to ask for is the housing, because we need housing for not only our families, but also for the workforce, farmers. We have the 70 acres, Mayor, that you've allocated. We'd like you just to pick a developer. Instead of putting it out to bid, just pick a developer and let's go with it. Because if we can develop that, then we can develop the Hawaiian homelands that's adjacent to it. And then later on, we can figure out what we want to do with that 40 acres for the school. That's all I have today, and thank you for your time listening. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Our next testifier is Stan Reedus.
Mr. Mayor, my name is Stan Reedus. I'm a resident all my life. A couple of things I was thinking about, but first main one is we need a community center. Should have reading of category 3 or higher as stated in our community plan. See that building right there, the gym. It's about 50 years old. Cannot stick 2,000 people in that building. So we need something that lots of people, and also regular community center that has commercial kitchen, which was taken away from us. $900,000 of county tax money. And then I support everything local. I mean, Lāna'i local. We're always the last ones to get services over here. Always. I was looking at, testified the last budget meeting, that we should have a vehicle maintenance area that can support every county built on vehicle. Because even sanitation, we get screwed when the rubbish trucks break down, and we cannot bring somebody over from Maui. But if we had someone that would maintain our vehicles regularly, then they would agree. I mean, county spend millions of dollars on equipment, and we should be able to take care of that. And our clerk, everything. And please continue to support Expedition as there are our lifeline to Lāna'i. The Montolera is not really reliable. So Kutunas, they gotta go to doctor appointments. That's the only way that they can go to that. Thank you.
We have no one else signed up to testify. Is there anyone else who would like to testify?
I think there's one other person that's been doing.
Okay.
My name is Rob K. They will be coming back. Had for the last about 18 months. Very first and only long-term care facility. There's no place here like that. So we've been very lucky in that was offered to turn its residence, the residential facility that's it, over for this purpose. So we've got some estimates of converting that facility to ADA compliance, and it would be about $300,000. Need some help to get that in place. I'm just letting you know, we're not asking. I already reserved the first bed for that facility. So.
Our next testifier is Butch Keeper.
Good evening. My name is Butch Keeman. I'm a resident. I have two things to testify and several questions. So the first one is about, Mayor, your commitment at the July meeting about extending Fifth Street. So I just want to reiterate and remind the county of that commitment. We're hoping that in concert with the county council, you guys can access not only county funds, but the Biden infrastructure funds up to the tune of $25 million to extend Fifth Street for the affordable housing project. Secondly, hoping that the budget will reflect an increase in funding for the planning department specific to the Lāna'i Planning Commission. Since COVID has been technically over, we still do not have in-person planning commission meetings. I think the planning commission is not as effective when we have blue jeans meetings. I want to go back to in-person meetings. Historically, we found planning commission business to be a lot more effective when everyone attends the meetings. Questions I have, Shane, later, could you talk about the status of our dump? And then Pat, could you comment on the process or the protocol of naming county facilities here? Who's responsible for that? Mayor, I'm just a bit disappointed that the planning director wasn't here, OED director wasn't here, and them, and if we have funding requests, we can make that directly to them. Lastly, when this is over, if you could talk about what the budget process will entail. What will you do specifically with the Lāna'i budget request, and how that will fit into your overall budget request, and how does that fit into when the county council comes over next spring? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to testify? Seeing no one.
I want to say thank you to everybody. This is a question and answer session.
us to receive information from people about what we might see in the budget. I will take the time to answer a couple of those. And you can certainly come up and talk to the directors individually if you have any specific questions that you want answered. The way we're gonna handle the budget for Lāna'i is the same way we're gonna 8 districts. There are 9 districts that make requests. You folks know all them all because they all have a council member attached to them. And each of those council members will express, as Gabe Johnson does for Lāna'i, what they think are priorities for their community. And then they're gonna meet as a 9-member council and their budget discussions. They're also gonna come out to the community. We have a deadline, so I should have said this earlier. We have a deadline of the first week of November to get this information to the council. This process. But it's going to go to the council. I can't commit to today that Lāna'i will get everything that Lāna'i requested, because that's going to happen in conjunction with your councilman. Because he may have other priorities that were not brought up tonight, that he's going to want to request. You know, he's talked about the dog park and some other issues that were not raised tonight. And of course, there are people who are not here tonight that are going to want to weigh in on projects, which is why everybody can participate by submitting the forms here or online. So people who couldn't make it tonight can certainly get that information to us. I think I understand that you wouldn't have taken the time to come tonight if you didn't think it was important. You wouldn't have taken the time to say what you had to say if you didn't think it was important. And some of you may have even held back, and you had maybe 3 or 4 more things you wanted to bring up. Well, that's the same process we're going to have to follow. There's a budget. It's not an unlimited budget. It's a budget that we're going to have to prioritize what is necessary. Is it the housing, is it the street, is it the ag, all the different things. But I have not wavered from my commitment to extend 5th Street, despite what's happened. So you can tell me, you heard me say it again, October, the next time we come back here. That hasn't changed. You know, we're facing some devastation. And what impacts one impacts us all. I think you folks understand that. So we're not forgetting Lāna'i because of what's happened in Lahaina. We have to do several things simultaneously. This isn't a linear process where you do the first thing and the second and the third thing. There are plenty of first things. So I'll do a first thing, he'll do a first thing, she'll do one. Everybody's department is working on their first thing, all at the same time. We can't stop doing these processes. So we have set up an office of recovery on Maui, led by Josiah Nishita, Kamilagi, Priya Landgraf. Their jobs are to focus on the recovery. They used to have other jobs. They used to be the deputy director of something or director of something. Now their job is to focus on the recovery. But the rest of the department continues working on the things you folks want us to do. So in other words, we have to elevate people into new management positions. We can do this simultaneously, not wait for one to finish and then start the other. So that's where we're at, that's the mindset. I know we will do a better job of communicating that and getting it out to our entire community. I invite you again to come up and speak with those that are here. Again, those questions you have. Tonight really wasn't a question. It's like every budget hearing is. Ask us for what it is you want us to focus on, and of course we'll put it in the mix with all the other requests that we get. So it'd be unfair of me to tell you tonight and give you a commitment that your project will be the first project without having heard everybody else's requests yet. So that's how the process is going to work. You're going to hear them all, and then we're going to see how much money we're going to collect next year, or how much money what has to happen. Thank you, folks. For those of you who just walked in, if you want to come up and testify, or come and take the mic and say you want me to do that. What do we have to do something? Okay, so let me correct something. Our departments have to submit their budget request in early December. Didn't mean our budget goes to the council. The council's gonna come out and they're gonna do their own, community hearings, and they'll have their budget hearing. They will submit our budget to them next March, in March. No other testimony? So yeah, we'll be here. Anybody want to come up and chat with us? Thank you folks very much.